So this is my shift cover on my Jeep. And right here, you can see some little bit of roughage. I had sandblasted this and it was kind of rough right in here. We're going to try to fix that. This is going to show because this is going to be on the inside of my Jeep. And the shift levers come up through here. And so it really needed a cleaning, so we went ahead and sandblasted it. And now we're going to put some Bondo on here, just a slight skim on there to fix this spot, so then we can paint it. When we're done with this, this should be a black color. When I sandblasted this, it had several different colors in it, and the final color was like a green, like a military green, and it wasn't coming off. So I ended up having to take a wire wheel to it and knocking the paint off of it the best I could, and then going back over it with the sandblaster real lightly, and it ended up turning out really good. But right here was always a rough spot. It looked kind of bad, and now I know why, because in the metal it's actually got some some pitting inside that metal. So we're going to fix that today. So what we got here is some Bondo. It shouldn't need a lot. We're just going to do a light skim coat on it. So we're going to mix that two-part up. That red color you see, that's going to be your hardener. Once you get it mixed up, you don't have a lot of time to apply it. Set that right there. That's the rough spot.
What's that?
So we got the light skim on there to kind of cover up that area that was pitted. And it should look like when we sand it down, we'll show you that after this dries. It's going to take a little while to dry before we can actually sand it. Dry town won't be too long, but we'll do that video and add to it after this is done. So I'm going to set this off to the side. We're going to let it dry, and then we'll work on sanding that down, smoothing that out. Blend it in with the metal the best we can, and you should never know it's there. Now we're going to fix our issues and paint it, and it be ready to put back on. I'm going to leave that here just for a second. We're going to make sure to get our lid and stuff on before everything dries out on us. Again, that's the Bondo we used. And that's the hardener that comes with it. They always give you more Bondo than they give you hardener. Seems like we always run out of the hardener and still have a lot of Bondo left. I'm going to go ahead and mention this. We've been working on some painting some parts on this 56 Willys. And this is the headlight cover that we painted today. It's still wet, but this wasn't painted. In fact, it had a little rust, a little bit of surface rust on it. We cleaned it up, used some steel wool on it. I didn't want to run this through the sandblaster. It's not real heavy metal, so we just used some steel wool on it, cleaned it up, and then we primed it and painted it, and we went with a silver color. That should reflect a lot of that light the headlight sits in there, and it makes it look a lot better. The headlight support that this fits in, we also primed it. It's going to be painted as well. The back of it's going to be painted the same color as the silver, and then the front inside is going to be blue to match the Jeep. This is the headlight, the back of the headlight, where the wires actually go into this. It's going to turn out pretty good. You're not going to see a lot of it, and this is going to fit in the grill support. And when I'm done with this, the back of this is going to be silver as well. When I got it, it had that black undercoat. So well, we're going to let this dry. And then, like I said, we're going to go back to sanding on it and get some color on it. I'll probably wait to paint this black when I do the engine compartment. I'll paint it the same color as the black. I'm going to actually use a spray gun on this. Here's a shift plate. The first coat we did, we used a Bondo with glass in it. It's got fiberglass in it. The second coat, we used a body filler with hardener. Both of these take hardener. Dad had put it on there and thinned it out, and then we sanded on it, and that's what it looks like. I'm gonna wipe it down real quick, and it should be pretty much ready for a primer. We might use a little bit of a primer filler at first, and then go over it with but I want to use a gun on this, so my final coat's going to be with a gun. I got some other stuff I got to paint with a gun, so I'm just going to go ahead and shoot this with a gun as well. It's all going to be the black color. The coat we put on there was a little bit on the thick side, so we had to sand on it quite a bit to get it off, but man, it really turned out, got all that pitting out of it. And you can't hardly see it, so any little indentions that might be still left, the primer filler would probably fill in and smoothen that out, and then we can probably shoot it with some primer, regular primer, and then we'll paint it. So that's your final product after we finished it. So it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.